Do you have an Amazon Alexa enabled device? You can now listen to my podcast on that device. Just go to Alexa Skills, search for K-12 Education Untangled, click Enable to enable that skill, and voila! You're now able to listen to my podcast via your Alexa enabled device. Welcome to another episode of K-12 Education Untangled. My name is Dr. Kim Fields, former corporate manager turned educational researcher and advocate, and I'm the host of this podcast. I got into this space after dealing with some frustrating interactions with school administrators and educators, as well as the micro-discriminations that I faced as an African-American mom raising my two kids who were in the public school system. I really wanted to understand how teachers were trained and what the research provided about the challenges of the public education system. If you're looking to find out more about current topics in education that could affect you or your children, then you're in the right place. On today's episode, I'll be discussing my thoughts on asking for help. Asking for help is sometimes difficult, especially if you're fiercely independent. I know because I'm a fiercely independent person, yet I had to learn the power of asking for help. One of the downsides of being adamantly independent is that you think you can do it all. In reality, that's a fallacy. Sometimes you just need help for mental sanity, for assisting in getting a task completed quicker, or for undertaking that is more than a one-person endeavor. I'll address asking for help in 4 areas: job or career, special projects, parenting, and self-care. Let's start with job or career. Asking for help in your job or career is the opposite of showing weakness. It's a strength in recognizing that you might lack the skills or resources necessary in order to perform successfully or to advance in your career. The key is asking the right people, those who have been where you are and have learned from their mistakes so that they can pass on insights and wisdom from their experiences. In many companies or organizations, they're often referred to as mentors or coaches. Asking for help takes courage and strength because it requires being vulnerable and authentic. You have to put away pride and face the reality of things when asking for help. Research has found that strong leaders are often more receptive to asking for help as they know their capabilities and how much they can benefit by involving external input. Moreover, asking for help doesn't mean lack of knowledge or expertise. Instead, it can signify wisdom in knowing how and when to seek out guidance to handle a challenge or situation. Therefore, asking for help in your job or career should not be viewed negatively, nor be associated with shame. Instead, it should be seen as a sign of intelligence and power. In today's professional climate, asking for help has come to signify strength rather than weakness. This idea reflects the shift away from competition-based workplace models and more on a focus toward collaborative working environments. Most successful people understand that asking for help can be a major factor in their success. Workplace experts often cite that asking for help is actually a sign of self-awareness and intelligence as it promotes proper delegation and partnerships with peers. Asking for help allows you to benefit from the input of others who may have different perspectives or skill sets than your own, which can lead to the most efficient outcomes in the workplace. From asking colleagues for advice to building a network of people with different skill sets, asking for help can be an effective way to explore new opportunities and expand your knowledge. Ultimately, asking for guidance shows strength and a willingness to learn. not weakness. Studies have found that asking for assistance not only reduces overall stress levels and increases working efficiency, but also creates an environment more conducive to learning. Finally, asking for help in your job or career is far from showing weakness. It is, in fact, indicative of humility, resourcefulness, and open-mindedness. The next area is special projects. Ever so often, we undertake special projects. These can include organizing your home office, cleaning out the garage, or organizing a social event. Asking for help with special projects is usually a wise decision. I remember when I took on the special project of organizing my home office, an undertaking that was definitely more than one person could take on. So I enlisted the help of others who were volunteers in order to complete the project. I managed it as a project with a specific beginning and ending date, as well as specific roles and assignments for my volunteer resources. The project was completed in 3 months, which was pretty good given the availability of the people helping with the project. This area may be one that's the clearest of all as far as understanding that it's going to take more than just yourself to accomplish a successful completion of your project. Asking for help when faced with a special project can be seen as an act of wisdom and insight. Research has shown that too much pride or overconfidence can hamper our ability to make progressive steps forward in any given endeavor. Rather, by asking for assistance from friends, families, co-workers, or experts, we can benefit from the experiences and knowledge which others bring to the table. In essence, asking for help on special projects is really a gesture of intelligence, courage, and foresight. Studies have shown that asking for help often facilitates higher quality outcomes than trying to go it alone. The trick is knowing when and where to seek assistance. It's important to use your best judgment and evaluate who can offer the most valuable advice in any given situation. Investing the time and asking the right questions can greatly enhance any project while saving considerable amounts of time. Asking for help on special projects can be an astute decision for those wanting to save time, energy, and money. Not only does asking for help signal a willingness to delegate responsibilities, it can also bring a variety of perspectives together into one project. Seeking out aid is a reflection of insight. We are only so powerful on our own, and the combination of differing abilities and understanding can produce solutions greater than we individually have the capacity to form. In asking for help with unique projects, you demonstrate maturity and acuity when it comes to the value of collaboration in achieving goals. Now moving on to the area of parenting. The job of being a parent can be overwhelming at times, especially during the early years. There's just a lot to manage. During these years, fathers tend to be in the supportive role, whereas mothers take on more responsibility. In addition to bathing, feeding, nurturing, teaching young children, mothers often also still hold responsibility for overseeing household operations. In today's society, many mothers are also working in careers while trying to balance parenthood. Given all of this, asking for help is a necessity. Mothers often feel overwhelmed, tired, alone, and uncertain about possessing what it takes to get it, quote unquote, right. The truth of the matter is, there is no, quote unquote, right. You just make the best decisions that you can with the information and energy that you have in any given moment. Although asking for help can often be difficult as a mother of young children, it's essential to remember that doing so only serves to benefit both you and your family. Too often, mothers feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work that's associated with caring for and raising their little ones, which can leave you feeling burned out or isolated. However, research has shown asking for help can provide many benefits, such as increased connection to family and community, more opportunities to practice self-care activities, and decreased feelings of stress or anxiety. In summary, asking for help as a mom should be seen not only as a necessity, but also as beneficial. When you became a mother of young children, asking for help could have first have seemed intimidating. Raising a child of any age is no small feat, and doing so with young children often feels like a puzzle that one parent alone can't solve. Despite asking for help from friends and family may be daunting, it's important to recognize that it can also provide you with a great sense of support, balance, and even peace. Research has shown asking for help is an important part of being a successful parent. Giving yourself the chance to recharge, relax, and find time for yourself, all while providing your children with the best possible environment to learn, grow, and develop. By asking for and accepting assistance with being a mother, you are likely to not only make your life easier, but also give your children a greater sense of security. Let's face it, being a mother can be extraordinarily difficult, and it's natural for you to feel overwhelmed, tired, isolated, or uncertain of your capabilities. But the truth is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to parenting. Each experience is unique. The best thing you can do for yourself in any given moment as a mother is to access what resources you have and make the most informed decisions that you can with the time, energy, and information at hand. Asking for help and support along the way can be invaluable on your journey. Don't suffer in silence when asking for help can provide immediate comfort and much needed perspective. The surest path as a mother lies in reducing the burden of trying to do it all on your own. Knowing that it's impossible to get everything right allows you to become more reflective and accepting, developing better strategies for dealing with your daily struggles along the way. Seeking support or advice from others in similar situations can provide invaluable guidance and perspective, something that a parent should never hesitate asking for. And finally, the last area is self-care. If we don't take care of ourselves, no one else will. This is the single most important principle for maintaining happiness, balance, and a healthy mindset. Sometimes, given the stresses in our lives, we become out of balance. In those instances, we need to seek help or ask for help. This can come from a qualified medical practitioner, therapist, religious leader, a close friend, or a family member. When you're feeling overwhelmed, tired, stressed, and frustrated, it's time to take a beat. Self-care can be anything that brings you joy, from painting to being out in nature, to meditation, to taking a walk, to singing out loud, to hanging out with friends, to visiting museums, to playing a sport or working out, whatever your particular interest is. It's important to find those things that spark joy for you. Your sanity and your well-being are essential. In fact, it's very difficult to perform the task of your job, parenthood, or special projects without a healthy mindset. Research has suggested that asking for help and engaging in self-care are essential elements in maintaining balance, mental health, and happiness. Along this vein, recognizing the importance of taking care of yourself is a core step in managing your life. Without an intentional effort to take care of yourself, no one else will do it for you. The responsibility lies with you and you alone. Thus, if you don't take charge of your well-being now, you may find yourself out of balance and lacking happiness. To prevent this from happening, be mindful of your thoughts and feelings each day and actively look after yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. Asking for help requires strength and is ultimately rewarding. Not only will taking care of yourself bring greater enjoyment out of life, but it can help you stay calm even in tense times. It's easy to let the mundane aspects of life make you feel trapped, but finding ways to bring a bit of light or joy into each day can help reduce stress and increase feelings of well-being. It's important to keep asking yourself what sparks joy in your life and think creatively about how you can gain access to those activities even when there are barriers such as lack of time or resources. Don't be afraid to ask for help if need be. Sometimes getting an outside perspective can open up a whole new world of possibilities. Finding and nurturing the things that give you joy is essential for mental health, overall happiness, and your sense of self. In conclusion, a vast majority of the time, asking for help is a necessity, whether it's for career advancement, completing special projects, navigating the realm of parenthood, or practicing self-care. Asking for help demonstrates recognition, insight, and maturity, especially when you're asking for help with gratitude. Once you get in the habit of asking for help when needed, you're likely to find your life more enriching and less stressful. It's also important to be that helpful resource when others reach out to you. As is the case for these thought-sharing episodes in which I close with either a quote or a clean joke, I provide the following quotes for you to ponder. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do that every day. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know something and to learn something new. Barack Obama. The second quote is, regardless of what challenge you are facing right now, know that it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. During these times, do what you can with what you have and ask for help if needed. Most importantly, never surrender. Put things in perspective. Take care of yourself. Find ways to replenish your energy, strengthen your faith, and fortify yourself from the inside out. Les Brown. If this is the type of subject matter and discussion that resonates with you, please follow my podcast on whatever service you're listening to this. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so please leave me a rating, a review, or a comment on Apple, Spotify, or Podchaser. If you like this podcast, the best way to support me and help me grow it is by leaving a review. This helps my rankings and entices other people to listen to the show. And share this episode with anyone that you think would find it valuable. Be sure to tell your friends, family, and community about my podcast. I'd really appreciate it if you would recommend my podcast to a friend directly on Twitter and to mention my show in your tweet. Additionally, connect with me on Instagram and Facebook with the handle Kim J. Fields. Thanks for listening today. I hope you'll come back for more K-12 educational discussions with even more exciting topics to untangle. And be sure to stay tuned. On the next episode of my podcast, I'll be discussing government funding of education. Until next time, aim to learn something new every day.